Today I'm going to work on with a split complementary color scheme, and I'm going to experiment a little bit with some of my pigments. I thought I would try, see if I have I have transparent gold deep. I thought I had the Hansa yellow. Yeah, I've got a Hansa yellow medium also. But we'll take a look and see what they look like when I take the lid off. And now I get my color wheel. So this is the Hansa yellow orange and the Hansa yellow medium. Oh, and the transparent gold deep is very brown compared to that. And then the red orange, I have a quinacridone sienna, which looks dark here, but maybe it would be a little less. What's the pyrrole orange? No, pyrrole orange might be. I will do a little swatch of each and see what I think. And then for blue, I'll just use cobalt blue. Using a flat brush, and I'm just going to use this, it's like Canson paper just to figure out my colors. So this is the transparent pyrrole orange. And I think I should put a little, what it is, TPO. Try the quinacridone sienna. And now I'm going to try the Hansa yellow. Medium. And the other one I thought I might try, I have a new gambosia and I have a yellow ochre. This is yellow ochre. And this is new gamboge. Okay, so let's see what we think here. They're still a little wet, but if we look at the color chart, Which one of these is closer to the yellow orange? New Gamboge?
I'd say so. Also, it's more transparent, which might be good.
And then let's look at the red orange.
The the sienna, to my eye.
Yeah, it's got a little more red in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and a little more brown, maybe. It's
Yeah.
not quite as much of a spectrum color.
And that kind of goes with the subject matter, doesn't it? All right, so now what I'll do is I'll mix up some of that in here. So the new gamboge is going into here. Okay, so now I'm getting my cobalt. Now I've got my pigments in here and I want to liquefy them just a little bit more. So let me use my pit to just add some water. Hmm. And start with wetting my paper. I'm not going to draw. This is just going to be an experiment. Guess I could just wet pretty much the whole thing, actually. Okay, I'm going to start with the new gamboge. I'm going to go over the darker parts. I could actually do a whole layer of this probably to start with, but I'm going to do it this way. Now, take some of this quinacridone sienna. Or use the pipette. board is a little bit warped. I'm getting some of the blue. I didn't really mix this up very well ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to try to mix a few of these together over here, like the orange and the blue. I need to get some darker, a darker dark.
I can't see the top of the photo of the painting. Is anybody else having that trouble? There, now I can. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to move it. I've got to like move,
Oh, right, but it's just half the top half was cut off.
hopefully just for a short time.
Yeah, no, now it's great. Thank you.
think you've got a hair in your picture. Is there a way to get that out?
Oh, down here?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't worry about that.
will it just pull off when it dries?
Yeah, if it's there, it's a part of the painting.
Okay.
If I try to take it off, I might make more problems.
That's what I always, it happens to me too, and I wonder what you do. So you just leave it. Yeah.
Then I deal with it later. You know, tomorrow's another day. I don't have a dark enough dark here, and part of the reason is that I probably didn't put enough pigment in here. So now I'm resorting to just mixing it with a brush. Then I could sort of guide where I want it to go. I need to come this way so that I can get more darks in the bottom.
That salt.
There is some salt on there, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to start looking at some of the structures here. You know, the hair is straightening out. And now these columns are not going to be exactly like they are in the photo, that's for sure. But I have to start now and look at where I want my lighter lights and pull out a few places. Very, very wet. Now I'm going to do the thing where I groove into some of the I know this is a big mess, but remember, this is an experiment.
I think it's great that you're doing an experiment.
Well,
Gives us, yeah.
I'm
You're
doing
giving us permission.
exactly the idea.
Well, it gives us permission.
Yeah. And you can see what happens when you're kind of struggling, with something, and what do you do next?
I'm so amazed at how you can sort of start with a mess and then start pulling out, detail or from it,
Well, that's the way painting is for me. All right. Um, so some of the basic structure is there, but obviously it needs to have a lot more darks and so forth. And at this stage, this might be a good time to just kind of, let it be. And after it dries, wet it again. There are some things I like where some of these colors are blending together. I do want to try to preserve places where I can put the yellow in. And that may be something I'll have to do also after it dries by just scrubbing using a scrubber brush. For some reason, I'm thinking of Thomas Schaller. He does such a great job of blending.
And he's really a master at that.
Yeah.
But his colors don't come out so bright when he's doing that part of, he adds the brightness later,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I can't really recall right right now. I want to get some darker darks in here because I've got them in these jars.
Sylvia, you're doing the catacomb scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the picture you have shown on your screen is the woodland one. So that I was getting confused. I was saying, why
Oh,
is
oh, you mean
she?
for my profile? That was just for my profile.
Ah, ah.
And there was a message in the chat that it is actually a cistern, not catacomb.
Oh, I was right. Gosh, I'm
You
so
were right. Yeah.
seemed to be something that was in my memory from, 2015.
Would there have been water in there? Isn't a cistern a place to hold water?
That is
Yep.
the place where the Romans stored water in
Wow,
Istanbul.
very fancy place. for
Right.
water.
Well, you collect it off the roof and then you've got good drinking water in the future.
And it's built from many Roman ruins. If you're in there and you look at the blocks of marble, there's like a head that must have been someplace else and columns, and they basically repurposed other
Wow,
Roman ruins to build that.
amazing. So was it built in Roman times?
I don't really know. This was Istanbul.
Yeah.
They built in layers over previous ruins, or even just previous buildings. Like, oh, that's where they had that old palace, but I don't like that much. I'm gonna build my palace on top. So they'll be in layers, deep layers.
And that was pretty much standard practice back in those times across cultures.